All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our second Q&A after the premiere for The Walking Dead Season 7's mid-season finale, Episode 8, Hearts Still Beating. So if you guys missed it, I did one earlier for the Morales theory for the who's wearing the boots. He seemed to be the most commonly suggested person in comments. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll start the video with that and the discussion on who it is with that. I'm still thinking it's probably just simply a new character named Leslie. So we'll see, some kind of survivalist type guy. However, this was a good one from Stephen B. Smith. He sometimes writes some really great comments. And I wanted to use it for this Q&A, and it is, do you guys think, and Trev for Q&A, do you think the guy in the boots could be Dwight? So I actually went as far as to look up pictures earlier on this season from the cell and earlier episodes to try and find the boots so that we could compare and we could match them and see if those are in fact the same boots that Dwight was wearing earlier on. And it's a bit inconclusive for me. It's hard to tell, I think. You guys can write your comments below on what you think, because they're pretty close in terms of design. Like, they're close. However, the laces seem to be different. In one case, the laces look like there's some kind of cable wrapped around the boots. And in the other case, I think with Dwight, he actually had regular laces, I think. But it's hard to tell because when you zoom into that level, you lose all your resolution. You lose the ability to kind of see in detail. The top part of the boots on Dwight seem to be kind of thicker to me, and the bottom seems to be a little bit thicker, but it's really hard to tell because the guy who's watching, whoever it is in the boots, is standing in mud and that, so that makes it a bit tricky. So also, it's a great comment from Steven because Dwight has kind of gone missing, or at least he hasn't been sort of around in the mid-season finale. We didn't really get to see him. Of course, Daryl runs into Fat Joey, and takes care of him and leaves with Jesus. We still don't know 100% who freed Daryl, if it was Jesus or if it was somebody else. Jesus was in the area, though. He was in and around, so it'd probably be most likely that it was him. But then again, if it was, why wouldn't he just open the door and help Daryl run away right away? So is it possible that Dwight could have helped Daryl escape or given him the key to escape, this kind of deal? And then, who knows? I mean, it's pretty tricky, but Dwight was not at Alexandria with Negan and the others. We know that. He was somewhere in and around, and then he kind of went missing. The other question is, if it was Dwight, how would he find his way over to see Rick and Aaron there at that time? It doesn't seem to fit 100% to me. So I'm still leaning towards a new character, and we'll have to see whether or not he ends up being a friend or foe, and I would also lean towards foe in that way as well. Could be somebody they could use for a couple episodes. But that said, in the comic book series at this time, Dwight is kind of fuzzy on which side he's on, if he's on Negan's side or if he's against him. We've seen a little bit of that this season with him kind of Sherry and Negan making out, and Dwight watching the walkers at the wall and kind of deciding what he's going to do with Daryl and this kind of thing. And he's been a little bit back and forth. The guy he has to kill in the cell who leaves, and then he has to go after him. So it seems like Dwight is a little bit confused in the TV series, but he seems to still be for Negan right now. In the comics, it wasn't exactly the same. So we'll see how they transform Dwight in the second half of The Walking Dead Season 7. I don't think it's him with the boots. I think they're different, but you guys can write your comments below. Let me know what you think. At this point, if you've got any other theories, send them to me, and of course we can address them in Q&As on who this is. I would think it'd be a pretty important role if they're going to introduce it as somebody who's like mysterious, and you just get to see the boots. You don't get to see who it is entirely all at once. So that's what I'm thinking. It should be important for the second half of Season 7 either way. Next question's from oVoiding, and he says, Q&A, Trev, what was your favorite part of this episode? I think even though it wasn't really a highlight of the episode, mine was when Daryl gave Rick back his revolver. Rick's revolver is a part of his character image, and to see him get it back was awesome. And I'd have to agree with you, that was a great part in the episode. It's really tough to say. probably my favorite part is the climactic, just after the gut sequence when Rosita, actually even better than the gut sequence, I thought, was what happened with Rosita's shot and how that went, and it hitting Lucille and Negan freaking right the hell out. I thought that was really funny. I'd probably have to go with that being the highlight of the episode for me, just because, yes, there was spoilers, so it did affect it a bit for me, because I had read those comments. And not that I went searching for spoilers. You guys left it in comments, and I happened to see it, hoping it was wrong here and there. So I try to glaze over. I try not to look, but still gets in the brain. And then when I'm watching the episode, I start putting two and two together, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's right. Daryl killed Fat Joe, so then this is probably, oh, damn it, now it's spoiled. So I try to kind of avoid that or not think about that. But for me, still, the sequence right after the guts scene was the highlight of the episode, for me anyway. That said, I totally get where you're coming from. The sequence at the end was awesome. Seeing Daryl and Rick reunited again, getting the revolver back, seeing everybody kind of coming back together. And that's not even the full group, because we don't have Carol and we don't have Morgan yet. But just to see the surviving members all kind of start to get together again was really special. And it's like everybody's kind of getting it back and they're feeling like they can do this. And also Rick telling Maggie that she was right earlier. I think that's kind of cool after everything they've been through. I thought that was great. So it's a packed episode 8. I loved it as a mid-season finale. It's one of the better ones we've had. We've had some other great ones. This one was one of the good ones for sure. Toryhan Ferguson says, I'm losing hope on Dwight's redemption story, with a sad face. And yeah, I understand where you're at with that. I'm still, at this date, even after like 2 years of us discussing this, can you have both Daryl and Dwight in the Walking Dead TV series? That is a really good question. Can you have them both, or do you only need one? I've kind of always said that I think Daryl will replace Dwight, so we'll see if Dwight is going to be able to redeem himself, maybe turn against Negan in the TV series. It seems like he's kind of on the fence, or if he's going to stay by Negan's side. If he does, I would predict that I think Daryl's probably going to get his revenge on him, and Daryl's going to end up killing him at some point in the future. But I could be completely wrong, so we'll see. Maybe Dwight will turn on Negan, maybe something will happen, and maybe he will help the others if it gets too painful for him to see Sherry with Negan and all that. We'll see, man. Do a couple more. Paul Rovia says, Trev, Q&A. What did you think of Arat's 180 no-scope kill cam with Olivia? She ended that round of search like a boss. Yeah, that was quick, dude. That was really quick. I think she might have already known, like, ahead of time, if she has to kill somebody, who it's going to be. She probably already had that figured out, because she didn't shoot for Carl. She didn't shoot for, some of the other key members, like, for example, Rosita or somebody like that. I think she kind of... Well, when you're around somebody like Negan, you're definitely going to be on your toes. So I think she's on her toes, and tough character for sure. That one's going to be... She's going to be tough when Rick and the others fight back against her. I wonder what's going to happen with that. Maybe see Rosita kill her or something. It'd be interesting. Mark M says Michonne blew her brains out. The girl you said that was there was a silencer in the glove compartment, so Michonne would not get hurt shooting her. You can even hear the silent shot. So thanks, Mark. I did miss that. I don't see everything. When I do my reviews, I do them right after the episodes air for you guys, because I know you want them that way. After 7 years of doing this, or 6 years of doing this, this is season 7. I guess we could say 7 years. I know you guys want to see your reviews right away. That's what you want. So, I have tried at times, waiting a day or two before doing it, but it's like, no, you guys want it right away. Even if sometimes I'm not 100% correct about every single detail, because I've only seen it once and there's commercials and stuff like that, and sometimes can get fuzzy on certain parts when you're trying to take in all this new information in a 90-minute episode. But that's what you guys like best. I know some people would say, well, I prefer Trev if you did this way. Maybe you would, but everybody else wants it the other way. Believe me, majority of you guys, I know from experience, you want the reviews right away. So that's what I do. And then we move on to stuff like this, right afterwards. So absolutely. But thanks for that. That's cool. And, Well, if she had to kill her, I mean, I guess they're going to have to kill quite a few saviors coming up. So either way, one less is probably a good thing as progress from their standpoint right now. Jack Braun says, Trev, have you played The Walking Dead Survival Instinct? And what did you think of it? Keep up the great work. I haven't played hardly any video games. 4 months, I haven't played a single video game, really. Walking Dead games, I don't really play, to be honest. I mean, some of them are cool, and if I had more time, I'd probably check some of them out. I just don't. Next one's from Negan. He says, man, that Rick and Daryl reunion really hits me in the feels. And some people commented because he has a picture of Negan in his display for YouTube as profile. It's kind of funny. It was a great feeling moment, absolutely. And last one will be for this one. Sarah Morano says, hey, Trev, Q&A. Do you think that once Carol finds out what happened to Glenn and Abraham, that she will want to fight? I hope so. I miss badass Carol. And that's a really great question that I really want to add for this one. Yeah, I feel like Carol's got to get it back too. You know, she's also in a place like we've seen Rick and the others in, and it does take away from the character. You know, we want to see her strong. We want to see her full of energy and going after things and fighting for the group and doing all these great things. So hopefully when she sees Rick and she sees the others again, maybe they can sway her and tell her that we're going to have to, you know, I understand, like maybe Rick can have a heart-to-heart and say, I understand, you don't want to fight, you don't want to do this, but if we want to survive, if we want everyone else to be okay, then we have to, and we could really use you. And maybe that will be enough to sway her. And also, like you said, she finds out who's been killed so far, she's going to feel awful about it, and she might want to get revenge as well, too. So we'll see, man. Absolutely. And that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. If you liked it, as usual, please thumb it up below. I'll have another one for you guys tomorrow. Send me other questions, lots of questions. Send them all to me. We'll add them to the list, and it'll give us lots of things to talk about over the break. So that'll be it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you tomorrow.